In this video, I'll show you how to program a new key for your Chrysler vehicle using this simple key kit. This is going to work for your Chrysler 200 and 300. You can see on the back all of the compatibility here. If you have a different Chrysler model or you have a different brand and you'd like to see a video for your vehicle, you can check out our channel. We have most of those covered, but for this video, we'll be showing you how to do the process for your Chrysler 200, 15 to 17, and Chrysler 300, 2011 to 2014. Let's get started by opening this thing up and seeing what we have inside. I'm going to walk you through step by step the whole process. It is really easy to do, and compared to getting a new key programmed at the dealership, it is much cheaper. So inside we have our user guide. This is the easy installer, and we have a new key fob. A couple of quick things to note: your key fob that you currently use with your vehicle, the one that's currently paired to your vehicle, you'll need to have that with you for this process. Over here in the easy installer, if this security tab is missing or damaged, or it says void, you'll want to get this replaced because it can only pair with one vehicle. Once someone has used it, it will not work with another vehicle, and likely if that tab is missing, it's already been used. You'll just want to go get yourself a new simple key. And the only other thing is the physical key that is inside here. You can get that cut. Just let me show you that. You can get this cut at your convenience. It's not necessary to do before starting the process, but you will want to get that done at some point. And one more thing to note: if your original key didn't have this trunk button, I know that there's a 4 and a 5 button version. I believe that the difference is this trunk button. If you have the 4 button version, pairing this new key will not add the trunk opening function, or perhaps it's the push to start. But whatever the case may be, your original key, you'll have the same functions as that key. You will not be able to add any new functions, but that's not really important, just a thing to keep in mind. We can now move on to the activation process. We're going to punch a code into our new key fob here, and I'll show you how to do that right now. One last thing is, if at any point during this process you run into an error, you'll want to skip to the end of the video where I go over those common errors. I'm going to show you on screen now the different activation codes. Find the key fob that you currently have, depending on whether you have the 200 or the 300. Just remember the code or write down the code with the picture that looks like your key fob. And now that you have that in mind, we're going to punch that in. I'm going to be punching in 113. So we're going to start by pressing lock and panic simultaneously. You can see this light has now activated, and now I'm going to punch in the 3-digit code, the first digit with lock, the second with panic, and the third with unlock. So I'll show you 113, 1, 1, 3. And now I'll press lock and panic once more, and this should blink back my code. 1, pause, 1, pause, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. If your key is beeping back or blinking back the correct code, you can just move on. If it is not, you can keep trying this process again until you get it right. There's no limit or anything like that. You'll just want to start again by pressing the lock and panic button and punching in your code. Once we've begun the next step, which is pairing, you do not want to attempt to change the activation code again. You'll want to get this settled before moving on. And once we're in the next step, don't attempt to do this process again. So now we're ready to go on to the pairing process. So go ahead and hop in your vehicle if you aren't already there. The first thing we want to do is locate the OBD port. This is what the OBD port looks like. You can see that image on screen there. Usually it's under the dash, almost down at the level of the pedals. And so go ahead and look down there. If you can't seem to find it, check out your owner's manual, and it will tell you exactly where your OBD port is in there. Now that you know where the OBD port is, you want to hop in the car with your easy installer, your new key, and your original working key. And you want to close all of the doors, make sure the vehicle is off and in park, and turn on the hazard lights. Now we can set the dial position of our Easy Installer. If you have a Chrysler 200, you'll want to turn this arrow to 5, just like that. And if you have the 300, you'll want to leave it on 1. Out of the box, it should be on 1, so you just leave it there, but make sure it is on the correct number before moving forward. Chrysler 200, 5, Chrysler 300, 1. Now we can turn on the vehicle. So with your original key, the one that's currently working, start the engine, fully start the vehicle. And now we're going to plug in the Easy Installer. But before you do this, just want to let you know that you should move quickly. Once you plug this in, you have 5 minutes before the Easy Installer will beep, reminding you to remove it. And basically, you would just need to start this process over. But it's very quick and easy to do, so just be mindful that you want to work at a steady pace. We can now peel off the tab, the safety tab here, and plug this firmly into the OBD port. You'll want to wait up to 8 seconds and listen for 3 beeps, which sounds like this. That should be coming from the Easy Installer. Once you hear that, you can now turn the vehicle off. Now that the vehicle is off and this is still plugged in, you'll want to find this button on the bottom of the OBD port. You'll press that once and then come over here to the new key fob. And what we want to do is press the unlock button 10 times at 1 second intervals. And what you can do that by timing your button presses to the hazard lights, the clicking of your hazard lights. And I'll show you how that would go right now. So after you press that button, you'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you've pressed it 10 times, you'll want to wait up to 5 seconds and listen again for 3 quick beeps, which sounds like this. If at any time during those button presses you hear the 3 beeps, you hear that same sound, that's fine. That means you've completed this step and you can move on. If you have pressed the button 10 times and you have not heard the 3 beeps, you'll just want to continue pressing at 1 second intervals until you do hear the beeps. And if you hear more than 3 beeps, that means that an error has occurred and you'll want to skip over to the end of this video to figure out what happened. And once you've heard the 3 beeps, everything went correctly, you pressed it 10 times and you hear the 3 beeps, you'll simply want to finish by pressing this button on the Easy Installer once more. You will hear a chime sound coming from the Easy Installer, which sounds like this. And that means that the pairing process is complete. You can now unplug the Easy Installer, turn off the vehicle, turn off the hazard lights, and you'll now want to test both of your keys, your old key and your new key. Both of them should work. Your old key will continue to be paired and you can continue using it. And you can actually continue this process with the same Easy Installer to pair a total of 8 keys to your vehicle. So if you have the 2, you can pair 6 more. This Easy Installer will not work on other vehicles, but it will continue working on your vehicle. I'll now go over some of the errors that you can run into during this process. All of this information is in your user guide. I would first like to direct you over to page 7, where you can see where it says help. You have a customer service number, a technical support number right there. If you're having any serious issues, you can always give them a call and they will help you out. But just going through these frequently asked questions, the first thing that they're saying is when you push the button to begin the pairing process, you hear 8 beeps. That means that 8 keys have already been programmed to your vehicle and it will not let you pair another key. So they're saying just to call them at that technical support number. It's asking here, can I use the Easy Installer on other vehicles? As I mentioned, you cannot. Once you plug it in and use it on your vehicle, it will be paired to your vehicle. You can continue using it on your vehicle, but it won't work on others. Here we have that the Easy Installer is beeping 2 or 3 beeps at 1 second intervals, and then just a series of continuous beeps. That is indicating They're indicating two different errors, two possible errors. If you hear two beeps at 1 second intervals, that means that the Easy Installer has already been paired with another vehicle and it won't work with your vehicle. If you hear three beeps, that means that the Easy Installer is not detecting an original existing key, and you'll want to just make sure that's with you in the vehicle close nearby during that process. And if you have that problem with the Easy Installer has already been installed, it's already paired with another vehicle for the two beep error, you want to give them a call. They'll probably just tell you to get yourself a new kit. The question here is the new key won't pair to my car. The usual problem is just that the dial position is set incorrectly. So if you're having some problems during the pairing process, you want to make sure that your dial position is correct. And again, that is dial position 5 for Chrysler 200s and dial position 1 for Chrysler 300s. And the last thing here, or the second to last thing, if you unplug the Easy Installer during the process, that's fine. You'll just need to start from the beginning of the pairing process. So if you're in the middle trying to get this thing paired and you unplug, you'll want to reset from 0 just from the pairing phase. So get in your car, turn everything off, put it in park, hazard lights on, and then start from 0, setting the dial position and plugging the Easy Installer into your OBD port. It won't cause any problems. You'll just have to start over. And if after pairing a new key, the vehicle won't start with the new or the old key, there's not really an answer here. They're just telling you to call their customer service number and they will help you out with that. So that's it. That covers everything. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you saved a ton of money by using this kit at home instead of going to the dealership. And I hope you have a great day.